Wow, it's a week since Mickey was buried. At the moment, every day gets worse. I miss him more and more. It's 7 weeks today that he died. But it feels like months ago. It feels like being with him is a long way away. Anyway, obviously Mickey had 3 cats and I didn't want them going off somewhere else. I think he would haunt me the rest of my life if I didn't take his cats. So Missy here, we picked up a few weeks ago. She's quite settled in a way, except she's quite contrary because he's like, here I am, no, don't touch me, no, don't pick me up. They like their food, but she has found, because these cats, they're not, well, I don't think her and Cam minded each other that much, but Minny hisses at everything. So she's found her place. This is my daughter's room. So yeah, she's been in my daughter's room, and this is Missy. Missy's the one. She moved into Mickey's house when he was in hospital. One of his friends was feeding the cats and only sort of saw 1 or 2 cats. And then one day he saw 3 and he realised that another cat had moved in, which was Missy, and he was feeding her as well because they're all black. Yes, so this is Missy, who's camps out in Ellie's room. I took this one the other day. She seems to be blinking with one eye. That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I think she's actually the biggest cat, that's one. But anyway, we'll show you Minny now. Minny's half the size of her. This is Minny on my bed. Oh, do you see this blanket? Mickey bought me this blanket. Oh, Mickey got me lots of things, really, and he was just a lovely person. But anyway, I never, he said I could have Minny because he said I could have Missy because Missy had moved in and he had this cat and Cam, but Missy seemed happy at his house, so I just left it. We've got Floss down here, but anyway, this is Minny, and I'll show you a couple more. She's a bit more, see, she's tiny. She's a bit more sociable with us, but she hisses at Cam and she hisses at Missy. And she hisses at Floss. But to me, none of them like being picked up, but they like being affectionate and they like ham. Well, she's got some white hairs on her chest. She's about 7, I think. So Missy's the same. They've got to be all about the same age, I suppose, maybe 7, 8. Here's another one. Oh, her face is moving there. That one she looks a bit crazy there with that eye, but she's quite a little sweetie. She, hello, she talks to you a little bit. And then, I just noticed, this is behind my plant, but look, there's loads of cobwebs over that. Anyway, he is embedded now behind this plant. It's huge, this thing, and, to get around there is really difficult. But unfortunately, he didn't have a very good trip here. First of all, he's captured and in the house, which he obviously didn't like. Then he's put in a cage, which he didn't like. Then he's put on a car journey. He's never been in a car before. And then in the car, he pooed and weed. He made this horrible noise. And then there was nothing we could do, because how could we change him? We couldn't do it. We didn't want a cat running around the car. And so we had to wait till he got back. Then we bathed him. And then after he was shoved in the shower, we noticed that he still had poo on him, so we had to wash him again, and he didn't like it. And so he has his balls, he does, but he is, a real he-man. But here he hides behind that plant. There he is. He's almost the same size as Missy, but Missy's just well fed. So this is a plant here. Those are all the roots, but there's some cobwebs down there. Oh, never mind. No one sees them. But there he is. He's embedded in there. He'll come out for a bit of ham. Then he goes, pff, And then he's back there. He is not amused. He obviously hasn't accepted us yet, and I feel really sorry for him. Because obviously he really was Mickey's cat. You know, I'm not saying Minnie wasn't, but he definitely was. Obviously Mickey talked about him sometimes to me. So he's probably missing Mickey and everything. And don't forget, they had these two, Missy, Minnie and him, they had about 6 weeks on their own. You know, someone just shoving a bit of food in. So he's not very amused. I'm really sad for him. I don't know what to do. He's just not interested. He doesn't want to be picked up. And so the only time we can get him out is for food. But maybe things will be a bit better when we can let him out. I can imagine he puts his claw up. That's for keeping me hostage for 2 weeks. I thought the other cat, Missy, would do that, but I just really feel for him. You know, he's just not accepting us right now, and he has to hide. He didn't hide in his life. In Mickey's house, it was so warm, they were just, all the animals were passed out on the sofas and in the bathroom. Just passed out because it's so hot once they came in. He's not like this here. I feel very for him, but at least he comes out for food. He does walk around the living room occasionally. But obviously we weren't meant to have these animals. We've only got them because Mickey died. But anyway, Mickey, we got your cats. So we have, where is it? We have Missy. She's quite, you know, you just want to cuddle her. She's quite fat. No, she's not fat, but she's just perfect. She's just lovely. And you just think, oh, she's a bundle of fur. And then you got little Missy. You can see she's tiny, can't you? And then you've got poor old Cam. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Oh, and well, you know I've got Floss. Floss is sitting at my feet right now. You've seen loads of pictures of her. But anyway, these are her new brother and sisters. One of the reasons that me and Mickey, well, there was 2 reasons that we didn't actually live together full time. One was that I didn't want him to get rid of his house or lose his house if we broke up. You know, I've done a bit of that and it just worried me. And he worked, or it took him such a long time to get his house that I just didn't want him to lose it. And the second thing was the cats. But now I've got the cats, so that shouldn't have stopped me. But obviously we've got them because Mickey died. That was, you know, and I just thought that we would be living together in a couple of years or something. But obviously we didn't get that far. But anyway, again, thanks very much for watching. Everybody, I'm just making this video. I'm not sure when this one will go out, whether it will go out, you know, it might just be out of, I might just put a later one out, or no, I don't know, it'll just go out whenever it goes out. Obviously, when I'm making this video, it's the 9th of the 12th, it's now 5 days after Mickey was buried, and each day gets worse without him, to be honest. I miss him more and more, and it'll be 7 weeks on Monday, but it feels like he's been gone months. I suppose that's because I know that he's gone, but I'm struggling. The other day, after the funeral, the next day, I wanted some pictures of Mickey up, and I put them up, and then I was looking at them, and I thought, oh my God, they say in memory of Mickey. And that's what he is, he's a memory now. I miss him so much. I'll try and perk up a little bit for this video. Okay, everybody, because I'm just so upset about him. I'm heartbroken that he's gone still. Anyway, I didn't just suddenly miraculously find this out, just a moment ago, but I just thought I'd make a little video on this. I mean, this says 80, but another one says 118 pyramids are found in Egypt. And there's more than the Great Giza pyramids. Did everybody know that, really? You know, as you're growing up and you think of pyramids, do you think, oh, there's a whole set of them on the Nile? No, you don't. So I've made a little video. It's really not that easy to put it all together. Yeah, we'll just talk a little bit as this video goes on. So there you go. That one says 118. And the one above says 80. Nothing ever adds up, does it? But I wonder if people realise that there were so many pyramids. And like I say, everybody just thinks of the Great Pyramid and the other two with the little ones around it. But there are a lot more pyramids on the Nile. I'm wondering whether 3 more of them kind of up. Well, there is a bit of a gap between them, to be honest. But right down there, maybe with binoculars, you could see them if you were standing at the Great Geyser and that. So it's just a little bit of information and what they think that they are or whatever they're doing. But I won't ever forget Angel, my lovely Angel friend, who loves these pyramids, that he says they are machines. And there it says that Sudan has twice as many. I bet you nobody goes on much about them. Obviously, as I said, we're just looking up a little bit of information about things and what you can find, and they don't want to really put these pyramids together on the Nile. But I mean, it was only recently I realised, because we'd only ever concentrated on those. I never really thought there was loads more, and that Egypt had that many more. Obviously, Silbury Hill here is a pyramid, and they won't say that, but the one in the college about 10 miles away, they say that's a pyramid. Well, there's 2, and there's a lot more in England too, and other countries. We're covered in them, really. Whatever they are, machines. Obviously, Angel reckons that they're splitting things down and making other gases out of them, out of air, water. Did dinosaurs build the pyramids? How pathetic's that? But anyway, just keep going on the video. I just saw it there on one of the questions. How silly is that? Oh, dearie me. Mickey talked to me all the time. It's so quiet without him. Do anything to have those times back. I suppose there's loads of videos of him. And at some time I'll make I'll just put a couple of them together. Always in tribute of my lovely Mickey. Yeah, anyway, I was just looking up pyramids. I was quite, because I'm quite intrigued that they don't really want to include. I mean, these are other pyramids. They've got insides to them. Not just the Great Giza Pyramid. A few pictures. Obviously, those pyramids are built up. I wonder what that is. Well, there you go. We'll see in a minute. Yeah, there you go. Yes, you see here, pyramids are built up on top of this bank of sand, I suppose. Obviously, it's man put it there. Do you see? There you go. Look at that. We'll just go back to that one. Hang on, we're going back. That one a bit. Oh, we've gone too far. Oh, there it is. Come on. there. You can't tell me that there was a river here and this was there. I mean, obviously this thing needed water, this complex, but that didn't mean the water was around it. Obviously those pyramids go down deeper, don't they? If you can see how much there is a kind of ridge. I mean, maybe there's sand dunes as well, some of them. But there's a different level, kind of problem. I just don't know. How does that get there? And how could water be on? I mean, there is a section of green which follows the river. That's where the river was. The river was not up here. So that's man-made. I just wondered if people have really thought about what they're looking at. I mean, they say that all those things there in front here are burial chambers, but they're not. And the Nile. Oh, this I've got to. I've got to talk about this. I was hoping when I looked at this that maybe we would see some of the pyramids, but I suppose it's that. Well, the cartoon is that high up. But can you see anything? It's just absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. This is supposed to be Earth's atmosphere. Or the blue sky, but it's to the black. See, they're in the black and they're looking down here. How can they? Well, anyway, get a ruler and put it across there. You'll see that that's flat. How can you have a flat horizon with a ball? And how could you have this there when you're looking at this? Surely this would be across here. I mean, when you work it out, you realise how stupid they are and the stupid stuff that we've believed. You know, I'm not saying that this isn't a representative of what you're seeing, but there's no curve. You can't have a straight line across here and have a curve down here. How pathetic is that? Yeah, let's carry on before I say too much. Let's carry on with the video. But it was a bit like I was watching a video and then suddenly I just saw it and I thought, oh my God. You know, it's pathetic. If they want us to believe that that's supposed to be a real representation of what we live on, because it isn't. It's bananas. Come on. Oh, look, there's clouds in that bit. That's amazing, isn't it? Oh, dearie me. Oh, well, yeah. Crazy. And the straight line continues to stay there. Because that's how stupid we are, that we didn't even question what we're looking at, even think about what we were looking at. Yeah, so are they in the black? Because obviously they're not that high up then, are they? And the atmosphere and the sky and all that isn't very high up, is it? Oh, I just want to yawn. Because when you wake up, you realise how stupid everything else is. And you realise that GLOBEAL is all to do with money. That's all it is. And obviously keeping one confused, because all your senses tell you something different to what you're seeing on the television and what you're being told. Anyway, see this, right? So, this one is following the Nile, stopping at a few of the pyramids, but I still didn't. I just wanted. Well, I suppose the ones that are on the Nile are listed here, but obviously there's more in Egypt. And they say that obviously the Egyptian ones are all to the right of the Nile, but obviously you saw the ones from Sudan in that picture. They're to the right, aren't they? Or anyway, they're further down the Nile. And that's crazy, isn't it? Because that's two different countries with the pyramids. But anyway, see the green bit? That must have been the width of the Nile. And as it's left this green bit in its path, you know, an oasis of land running down past the Nile. But look, either side of that, it's sand, rock and sand. So, if you can see the green bit down the bit of the Nile, Well, we'll just wait. We're going to go back to that bit in a minute. Well, I'll say it and then we'll go back to it. When you see the pyramids, Great Giza and that, there's no green around them. There's just sand. So that tells you the water never got to them. Because that green line down there is the oasis from having the water there, maybe, or if the Nile hasn't really, because, you know, they're telling us that it was a lot bigger. And if it wasn't, those bits still have green bits, and people flourish living down those bits. But the rest of it is still sand. And, oh, it's finishing now. Let's wait. All right, so let's stop here a moment. Well, you can see a bit of green, and obviously the town's there, but there's no green on here whatsoever. This is all desert. So the water was never up here. It got to it, because obviously there are pipes and things. But the water was not up here, and it's obvious because it's higher here than the town. So, yeah, and then if we carry on just a tiny bit. See, no greenery. No greenery. Not where the pyramids are. Over there, no pyramids, green. But here, with the pyramids, no greenery whatsoever, so the water never came here. Because when you look here and you see the Nile, and maybe it was as big as this in these places, it's all green and an oasis. But not here, and not by the pyramids. I mean, obviously, if you were standing here looking out to these, you'd need binoculars to see these. But on here, they kind of make them look quite close together, don't they? These pyramids. Anyway, let's just move on with the pickies. Anyway, Mickey would probably like this video. Maybe he's in this room here with me right now, going, oh, come on, I like this. He liked my videos just as much as me being in the room with him. And sometimes he was in the room when I was making the videos. I just keep finding bits of him, you know, liking things. And you think, oh, he liked that. Oh, he liked that. He was just there for me all the time. Such a lovely man. Anyway, I just wanted to show you these pyramids. Oh, let's go back. I've just missed it. See, these are the pyramids here, but there's some here as well. See down here. Look at them all. And they don't connect any of these pyramids together at all. So that's crazy in itself, isn't it? I mean, there they look quite close, don't they? But obviously, like I said, you'd need binoculars from one lot to see the other. But they're all on the sandy bit, not the green bit. Different types of pyramids. I just like that one because the pyramids at the bottom and the pyramids at the top. You can see there's quite a few more of them. And then I put in a list of pyramids along the Nile. So we're going to take just a little bit more of a look at some of those. But I think the writing might be a bit small, to be honest. Oh, you can just about see it. So just a little bit of information on each pyramid. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're just checking. There's 15 pyramids then that go along the Nile. They're different shapes, different heights. I mean, he looks a bit like the Sphinx, except obviously the Sphinx is a bit bigger. But, yeah. Obviously, if you want to stop and read or make the picture bigger, just or look it up yourself. Oh, we've got Mickey's puddy cats. That was one of Mickey's little cats. That's Minny. She's quite affectionate, is little Minny. She's kind of settled in quite well, really. But Mickey's boy cat hasn't. He's comes out for food. He lets you stroke him. He doesn't want to be picked up, but then he's had a few things happen to him, I suppose. Being brought here, for instance. Being locked in a house. Being put in a cat cage. And he pooed when we brought him back, so he had to sit in that as well and then be bathed twice. He's sitting behind these plants, doesn't really come out. I mean, he's obviously not accepted as yet. But Minny down here just came in. She's accepted us, haven't you, Minny? And Missy's okay. She's a bit put out these two have turned up. Because Minny here, they're all black, these cats. I'll take a picture at some time. But this little one here hisses at everything. Oh, this is the list of pyramids in Egypt. Just, that's what that is. She's a sweetie, aren't you? Yeah, she's quite affectionate. And she's gone from donking the dog to sitting on the bed with the dog. So she's sort of, I feel that she's given in a bit. And obviously we'll let her out soon, but not yet. But Cam, he's not really coming out for nobody. He's either stuck behind the sofa or behind a plant. But he will come out. But he just, after he's eaten the food, he thinks, sod you, I'm going back to where I come from. Whereas Minnie here is a bit more sociable. And Missy's okay. And I don't think they all like each other very much. But thank goodness for them. Because obviously Mickey's house was quite small. But for them, like Minnie stays in my room now. And she sleeps underneath this bed thing on a cushion. Or my dressing table or the bed. Missy has Ellie's bed. But Cam has behind the plant and behind the sofa. And he doesn't really come out very much. I mean, you've had him since Monday now. Yeah, but anyway, that was the pyramids, see? Did you know there was that many? And obviously, other countries have more. And that's if they're admitting that they are. Yeah. I mean, you know, they've placed the pyramids as a Middle Eastern thing, but wait a minute. 10, well, I suppose 15, 20 miles away, we have Silbury Hill. In the middle, you know, you just come around the corner and dunk, there it is. How could you not believe that that is a pyramid? And then this one is in Marlborough, which is about 10 miles away. I'd say 10, 15 miles away. Well, about, yeah, 10, 15 miles. So I have to work it out because I used to live a lot closer. And obviously it looks like this now, but obviously a little while ago it had more trees on it. This was probably breaking the pyramid up, so they've taken them out. But, you know, these are only to each other. They're only a few miles away from each other. But they admit that this one is a pyramid, but they won't admit that one is. That's just a mound. And then don't forget, you've got Stonehenge, which is probably about half an hour, 45 minutes away from here. So, yeah, amazing, don't you think, that we know so little when... So that's Minnie eating the biscuits next to me, if you hear her. There's always an animal making a noise in here. We've got Floss snoring down there, and Minnie's in here eating her biscuits. But we've just about finished the video. Thanks for watching. What's your thoughts? Did you realise that there was actually that many pyramids?